Hello, everyone. Welcome to your Aries full moon workshop. Thank you all for joining. This full moon is no joke. There's a lot of things that are wrapping up because, as we know, with full moons, it's a time to end a 6-month cycle. If you remember, we had the Aries new moon back on March 24th of this year, which was right around the time when everything was locking down. There's a lot of uncertainty. People thought it would just be 2 weeks. And now we are here 6 months later. So with this Aries full moon, there's going to be themes of power and control, or lack of control, lack of structure. So we are here today to rewrite our narrative, to release what no longer serves us so we can make room for the goodies. So with this full moon, it's going to be at its peak on Thursday, October 1st at 5:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're all going to be able to see this quite beautifully on Thursday. And the thing is, depending on when you're watching this, all week this week, the energies, I don't know if you all are feeling it, but it's just like it's bubbling up to the surface for this massive release. Because like I said, we've been dealing with this pandemic for 6 months. That's a long time for most of us, never having to have dealt something with like this in our entire lives. So I want you all to really assess what areas of your life right now where you feel like you don't have control, whether that's love, money, opportunity, relationships. We're here to help soothe that because, low-key spoiler alert, October is going to be this very volatile, flammable, combustible month. There's just so many things happening astrology-wise, and we saw the collective energy March, April, May, how that felt like, and I feel like there's going to be all of that crammed into 1 month because we're in the election year. There's so much uncertainty, at least in Canada, Toronto, Montreal, Quebec City. There's a lot up in the air right now. There's a lot of questionable choices. So we must stay grounded, you guys. I know I say this a lot in my content, but really assess just on a bare bones basic what you're doing in the morning. Are you listening to your body? Are you nurturing it? Are you stretching it out? Or are you just instantly rolling over and checking Instagram? We've all been there. I've been there. When I switched though and realized I need to fill myself up first and get grounded and don't get lost in random stories and news feeds that don't actually matter, it helps to create that control for myself, to get grounded and to know what I need to do for that day. And the thing is, those of you watching who are Aries or have Aries energy, this is no joke. Like, Aries are the first sign of the zodiac, often manifesting and them being the best of the best. They go after what they want. It's cardinal fire energy. It's like lighting that match. It's an explosion. It's a one-hit KO, one-hit knockout. Like, Aries know what's going on. They're enthusiastic. They're passionate. They love to create. Some shadow aspects of Aries is sometimes they can be extremely impatient, a little bit selfish, self-serving, and it's always about like me, me, me. It's very much like that screaming fire baby because it's the first sign out of the gate. So sometimes it can have those childlike qualities, but I also think that those are beautiful because they're just very sincere and very open, and they just want to be loved and to love and to create. And that's why they can sometimes get impatient because like, let's just do it now. Let's get to it. And so Aries even had their season all in a lockdown this year. So of course they're just like, I just want this year to be over, especially with all the cardinal signs. So Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn really getting hit hard with Mars and Saturn and Pluto and Jupiter and all these planets currently being activated, which I'll talk about in a bit. But if we think of Aries in terms of figures in our world, we have people like Maya Angelou, Thornton Wilder, Tennessee Williams, some of the most biggest, powerful playwrights, artists, poets. And then modern day times, we have like Lady Gaga, Reese Witherspoon, who else? Yeah, Sarah Jessica Parker. We love Sex and the City here at Stillwater Alchemy. But these are these kind of energies that we create with. And those of you who have an Aries moon, which is going to be even more potent right now because we are in the full moon in the sign of Aries, You're going to feel like this massive release, this purge, even more so than everyone else. So with Aries moon energy, that's so immediate. The moon is how we deal with our emotions. And so even right now, like I said, leading up to this week, you might be really just over it. You're wanting that money now. You're wanting that love of your life now. You're wanting that job to fall into place now. But let me just remind you that with all of this energy, we are being tested, especially with Mars currently retrograde squaring Saturn. And I've talked about this a lot in terms of an overall arching theme of 2020 of how bad do you want it? How badly are you going to put in the work when there's no immediate success? Are you going to stay the course, stay in your lane? And that's really what we're being asked right now. And if we think of Aries moon individuals, we have Bill Gates, Stevie Wonder, and the editor-in-chief of Vogue, Anna Wintour. These are boss energies. So with this Aries full moon, I really want us to honor the power that we can release right now so that any limiting beliefs, any limiting stories, we no longer have to carry them. Because a lot of times that's the only thing holding us back. It's not lack of money, lack of opportunity, lack of love. It's all right here. And our own perception of lack is what truly gets in the way. So those are going to be overarching themes that we're going to be feeling all week, but especially Thursday, October 1st and Friday, October 2nd, because that's when the full moon is really going to be amplified. So as per usual, listen to your body, honor it. If you need to clean out your space, clean out your phones, your contacts, certain Instagram profiles that you no longer want to follow or that cause you to feel a certain type of way, it's time to let go, time to get rid of them. You no longer have to be a part of a frequency or an energy that no longer serves you. This is the time to take back your control. Because here's the thing, with all the astrology going on, we're moving into a situation where the energy is going to be more intense and you're not going to have as much energy to deal with so much noise and to deal with so many of these energy drips. When you constantly go online, when you're constantly engaging with low frequency friendships and relationships, you're giving your energy away. You're constantly engaging with matrix that are not actually serving you. So really ask yourself when you're going on social media, when you are eating because you're stressed, when you are talking to certain people that you know are not good for you, what are you not addressing? Is it that fear? Is it that scarcity? Is that lack of self-love, which it often is when we're feeling like we need more money, more opportunity, more success? It's because we're not giving that energy to ourselves. We're looking outside of ourselves for something that we can give already, or we have the means to acquire through investing time, energy, or money. But a lot of times it's easier just to binge our favorite show on Netflix or just to watch TikTok for 2 hours when we should be sleeping. So it's just really a time to readdress that with the astrology. So as we all know, Mars is retrograde. So especially for those of you who have prominent Mars, Aries, Scorpio energy in your chart. So this is going to really affect you because that's like your ruling planet. It has such a big influence on your personality and your energy level. So please, if you need the rest, you just can't forego it right now. You're going to get an overuse injury while working out. You're going to burn out. These are just times where you need to step back. And whether or not we go into a global lockdown or it's more locally, the universe might just give us the time to rest regardless. So check in with yourself, check in with your energy levels throughout the next little bit to see where you need more rest. Where does your work and business need more rest? Where does your health need more rest? And where can you redirect your energy to avoid those energy drips so that throughout the day, you can have those 4, 5, 6 productive hours of work and not hours of work where every 10, 15 minutes you're getting distracted by a notification, an email, someone texting you. That's what we're going for here, is to make sure that when we are being productive, it's uninterrupted. Good news is Saturn, planet of hard work and discipline, just went direct as of today, September 29th. So Why that is magnificent is that for people that have strong Capricorn or Aquarius energy, Saturn is your ruling planet. So now that it's gone direct, we're going to not feel like we're just digging a hole that never ends. We're gonna start feeling that momentum. Again, we still have that Mars retrograde squaring Saturn, so there can feel this, how bad do you want it, tenacity, grit type energy. But for those of you who have been doing the work truly for the past 6 months, you're going to start seeing positive affirmations and manifestations of that coming through. You're going to start seeing new clients. You're going to start seeing your body getting stronger. I promise you. And if you're like, no, I'm not, you shall. We're going to release some stuff in the meditation later so that we can make room for more. Another thing right now too is that we have Venus in Leo and then Mars in Aries. So in astrology, that's called a trine. It's a very harmonious aspect when you have two planets in the same element. So this is really a time too to put passion and energy into what you truly want. What is it that you actually want? If you really want that love of your life, are you doing the work to create the foundation to attract that multimillionaire with a 9-inch heart? Or are you just sitting in your bed on your phone, begrudgingly looking at other people who are in relationships who may or may not even be happy anyway? So remember that sometimes social media is not real. These are the things that we will assess. So as we're now focusing in, zeroing in our energy, we're getting to focus on what we actually want with this whole Venus, Mars, trine energy. It's going after what you're truly passionate about and not making excuses as to why you cannot obtain it, okay? And then with Pluto also right now being retrograde in Capricorn, it's going to go direct October 3rd, October 4th. So at the end of this week, it is honestly going to feel like a massive purge. It's going to feel like a giant release and that huge reset that a lot of us want. So now we're finishing up that 6-month cycle. We're going to be starting a new 6-month cycle, but intuitively for me, I feel like this is the work that we need to finish off this year. And we're now safeguarding what we currently have and investing further into what we need to finish off this year productively with the love that we deserve, the coins and the opportunity that are aligned for us. So naturally, I pulled some tarot cards. So we have the Devil with the 7 of Cups and the 3 of Wands. So the Devil, again, it doesn't mean satanic and evil. In a sense, it means what are the influences or what are the energies that are currently dragging you down or holding you down? Where are you obsessing? Where are you giving your time and energy and focus to? That's a really big Devil card. Also, for those of you who have Capricorn energy, or you might be dealing with a Capricorn who might be toxic or controlling or is a source of stress or anxiety, this is a time to decide if you want to let this energy continually hold you back, whether that's fear, perception that you can succeed, or a story that you keep telling yourself over and over again. Now is the time to break those ties, break free of those chains, so that as you progress, you realize that anything is truly possible. Even from a business perspective, I know a lot of my clients and followers that connect in the DMs, love you all. A lot of you are business owners. And if you even just think of it in a way, because I'm all about the numbers and the affirmations, if you live in a city that has 1 million people and you sold a product that was $1 or a service that was $1, all you need is 1% of your population in your city to buy that $1 product, and that's $10,000 a month. And that's just from 1% of your demographic, never mind internationally. And we know now with Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, the reach and the potential to reach anyone all over the world is unlimited. One of my favorite affirmations, all it takes is one yes for that whole business or for your dream to completely explode. So that's the thing that a lot of people get caught up on. It's like, where's my opportunity? Why can't I get it? Shifting your focus to realize it's a lot easier than you think I believe is going to help you stop being tied down with these negative or limiting beliefs that have stunted you or held you back. Because remember, with the Seven of Cups, this can sometimes mean that we are just daydreaming, that we're not actually taking affirmative action to get to our goals, or we're just whispering sweet nothings, or some of us are playing a little bit of a victim as to why we cannot get our business or our love life or opportunity to advance. Especially with the Devil and the Seven of Cups, some of you might be staying in really toxic situations that are not actually serving you, and you keep thinking of different ways to free yourself, but it doesn't amount to anything. So we're here to fix that and to rewrite the narrative, because with the Three of Wands, that's looking ahead, that's looking to the future. And a lot of you may know what that dream is, but you're not getting specific enough, getting down to literally the minute details of what that job feels like, tastes like, smells like. What kind of coffee creamer are you putting in at your home office or at your dream job? What cologne or perfume does your dream partner wear? Like, you can really get that specific so that you're creating that change internally to allow your external reality to match it. So for those of you who are wanting something right now, just add a bit more specificity, and I really feel like that can help realign you and to shift you forward. Because the three cards that I pulled from the bottom of the deck, we have the Hanged Man, Queen of Wands, and the Eight of Cups. So this is kind of reiterating what we've already talked about. With the Hanged Man, this is a card that represents Neptune. And so again, this kind of like illusionary fantasy dream realm that we've been in, sometimes we just need to stay still for a hot minute and just really see how our body is feeling, like detoxing, maybe so from meat and cheese, detoxing for a bit, detoxing from our phone, detoxing from people, and really just staying still and asking ourselves where we're feeling that block in our body. Where are we not happy? Where do we need to just realign ourselves a little bit, or just pivot that 1 or 2% so we can have a different vantage point moving forward? And really ask yourself right now what it is you're actually passionate about. What do you want to do moving forward? What makes you happy? If you're just going to that job to collect a paycheck because you don't want to not have certain luxuries, or because you need to support your family, but you're not ever happy, that job's not going to sustain you, or you're going to lose that job, or something is going to happen where you wish you could have just aligned yourself better to realize that everything you've always wanted was on the other side of that wall of ego or fear or scarcity. And quite honestly, with this Eight of Cups energy, some of you need to walk away from a job, a lover, a friendship, or something that is not serving you. And if you ask yourself and just see who or what that energy is, it will reveal itself to you. I promise you. So that's the collective tarot energy. A lot of choices to be made right now, and just releasing of energy. Like I said, with this full moon in Aries leading up to this, with Chiron as well, retrograde in Aries. Chiron is an asteroid, planetoid. It's not actually a planet, but it's pretty big, and it's been around for a long time. So with Chiron being retrograde in Aries, this is also addressing old wounds of power, authority, masculinity, in addition to everything else that we've already talked about. So this will just be a time, if you can make it a priority, all of you already are by watching this video, but to even go into it one step further of assessing what male figures or masculine energy, which can still come from a mother or female energy who was overly strict or stern. So I don't want you to hear masculine and automatically link it with a male, because it can still come from females as well in our life from our past. And to address which masculine figures or energies have told you that you're not worthy, you're not talented enough, you're not beautiful enough, you're not ever going to achieve X, Y, and Z, because this is also a time to let go of those mindsets and those energies moving forward. So I think, yeah, and just questions to ask you right now that you can either save for later. I'll make sure I put them in the description as well so you can have them to journal out after. But What have you accomplished in the last 6 months? You can also ask yourself what excuses or stories have held you back in the past 6 months, and then what victories have you celebrated over the 6 months? What have you done to make yourself proud, happy, accomplished? Because a lot of times we're very good at magnifying our flaws or perceived flaws, but we're not nearly as good as celebrating and cultivating our victories. So just some things to keep in mind as we're closing out this 6-month cycle, which has really been the past 6 months of this global pandemic. So we are going to move into the meditation. So if you just need to get comfortable, you can light a candle or an incense. Also, this is definitely an Aries moon. I always light an incense before I record, and it just kept like growing in fire. Usually I light it, it lights, and then just goes down like a normal incense. This one just kept growing in flame and flame. I was like, great, I'll just burn my house down, it's fine. So, light a candle, incense, grab a sip of water, and then whenever you're ready, you can just sit back, relax, and close your eyes. And now I'd like you all just to take a deep breath in and exhale. Another deep breath in and exhale. Breathing in light and opportunity, and exhaling stress and scarcity. I want you to see a beautiful white room. The light here is very inviting, and the room somewhat seems familiar to you. You're going to see a little child at a grand white marble desk with gold engravings in it. And as you walk up to the desk and see this child, you recognize that this child is you from the past. This is your inner child. And they're working very vigorously right now on 3 sets of assignments. And when you look to the 3 sets of assignments and the piles of paper, you notice 3 distinct headings: love, money, and success. And you can see that your inner child is frantically trying to finish these assignments. There's a little gold clock on the left-hand corner that's ticking rapidly. And I want you now just to hold that inner child. You can either give it a hug, you can put your hands on their face, and you can just look into their eyes. And you can say whatever you need to at this time, or you can just simply say, you are enough. At the top of the desk, you're just going to see pens and pencils, but you're also going to see a very clear crystal wand. This is a selenite wand, so you can grab that wand and you can just take this wand and hover it around your inner child and just cleanse their energy right now so they no longer have to feel stressed or anxious about these assignments. So I just invite you now to use this wand to do a full body scan on your inner child. And as you continue with this body scan, I want you to see if there's any areas that you either feel from them or come up through yourself that feel tight, whether that's your head or your throat, your stomach, your pelvis, and just take note of that. And if you feel called to, you can just hold the wand here longer to allow for extra energy to be removed. And you can finally do one last pass with the wand, collecting any last bit of energy. And when you're ready, you can just look at this wand and see if there's a word that comes through or a color that it glows, and just take note of that. It could be a phrase, it could be a word. And once you're done, you can just stick that selenite in your back pocket for now, and you can pull up a chair to this grand marble desk and sit with your inner child. And I want you to pick the love stack of papers. And with your inner child, I want you to write down what you're willing to release, what limiting beliefs that you want to release now around love. That can be anything from, I will never find love, or my dream partner is unobtainable, or friends always leave me. Whatever you want that to be, you and your inner child can now take that and write what you are willing to release right now. And as you're writing these beliefs down, I want you to ask your inner child too what they want to release, or what limiting beliefs from their current situation that they want to release around love. And write that down on the stack of paper as well. And when you're ready, you can take that selenite wand from your back pocket and just hold it up to the heart of your inner child to remove any last energy and negative beliefs. And then I want you to take that selenite wand and hold it up to your heart to remove any of this negative energy and limiting beliefs. And now you can take this stack of paper, and right in front of you is a gold fire pit with a crimson flame that's ablaze and burning nicely. With this stack of paper, I want you to throw it into the fire and release this energy from your auric field. And you can do so now. And as you do, you can feel your heart being lighter, that all this energy that you're holding on to is now being released. And now, you and your inner child can go back to the desk, and we're moving to the stack of papers labeled money. And I want you to do the same thing. What limiting mindsets are you telling yourself around money? I will never be rich. I will never be as financially stable as my sibling or the rest of my family. There's not enough money out there for me. I want you to write down any and all limiting mindsets you have around money. And again, as you're writing, I want you to turn to your inner child and ask them what limiting belief they were told that has deep-rooted this belief into you now in this timeline. And I want you to make sure that you write down that one and circle it on this stack of paper. And when you're ready, you can take these stacks of paper as well and go up to the fire and just throw them in, and allowing all of this to be released. And in front of the fire, you can take that selenite wand and just hold it to the stomach, below the heart, where your solar plexus lies. And you can see your inner child laughing by the fire. And then I want you to take that selenite wand and hold it up to your stomach as well to clear any last bits of energy from your solar plexus, where we draw on for confidence and power. And now you're going to take the hand of your inner child and go back to the desk one last time. And now we are at the stack of paper called success. And here I want you to focus on what limiting stories you've told yourself around success. And this can be anything around health or opportunity, or even including love and money that didn't come through before, Where are you holding yourself back with regards to success and your dream life? And I just want you to write those down. And you can see your inner child grab a pen of their own, and them grabbing some own papers, and them having their own autonomy right now, writing down what they wish to release. And if you feel called, you can look over as well and just see what your inner child is writing down on their piece of paper to see what you truly desire to let go of at this time. You can see your inner child smiling, finally having the power to release these old, outdated stories, because that's all they are, is a story that's either been imprinted from a loved one or from a younger version of yourself, and you now know better. And take one last moment to release and write down anything that you no longer wish to carry. Now I want you to take all the papers left on the desk, whether there's some left from money or love, and together you and your inner child are just going to stand in front of the fire, and on the count of 3, you're going to release all these papers into that fire. 1, 2, 3. And as all the final papers are burning, I want you to take that selenite wand, and I want you to hold it in between your eyes, hitting your third eye and the crown of your head, and just allowing any blockages to be removed, so you now have the intuition and the foresight to know what you need to do to progress into that dream life and have all the success you've ever dreamed of. And when you're done, you can also hold that wand up to your inner child, in between their eyes, up to the crown of their head. And as you do so, you can see your inner child smiling, maybe crying with joy with all the release that's happening. And when you're ready, I just want you to hold your inner child and just tell it anything that you feel called to say right now. And as you do, your inner child merges with yourself as you are now whole again. And everything that you've released has made you a stronger person that's going to be moving forward in this timeline, feeling lighter, more open, and more willing to receive. Lastly, on top of this fireplace, you're going to notice a beautiful red and gold ornate urn that has a ram head encrusted into it. I want you to open the urn, and there's going to be a parchment paper rolled up. And when you take the parchment out, you can put your selenite wand in this urn, so that all the energy that you removed is now going to be cleansed and purified. And before you open this piece of parchment, I want you just to be still for a moment so you can call in any of your spirit guides, spirit animals, or ancestors to be beside you right now, because there's going to be a message in this parchment. There's either going to be a word or a phrase, an animal, or a symbol that's going to resonate with you. And so take that moment, and when you're ready, I want you to open up that parchment and see what's inside. And I just want you to take this message in with you, as this is a message from your spirit team, from your higher self, that you are meant to receive right now in this moment. And you can either hold on to this parchment paper, you can put it back in the urn, you can put it in the fire, whatever feels natural and best to you. And I want you to go back to the desk one last time. And there's going to be a gold and encrusted parchment, and you can take any pen that you'd like and just write down one affirmation that resonates with you right now. Whether that is, I am worthy of all the money in the world. I am health. I am love. My dream partner is making their way to me right now. Whatever affirmation that feels right to you in this moment, I want you just to write that down on this piece of paper. want you to take a deep breath in and exhale. Another deep breath in and exhale. One final deep breath in. And as you exhale, you slowly come back to your body. You see the white room and the desk and the fire start to dissolve and disappear. You start breathing into your chest and your diaphragm and wiggling your hands and your feet. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay, so that meditation in particular was meant to release elements and mindsets, belief systems, and old stories that are holding us back in our lives. And with seeing your inner child, a lot of these impressions or things or ideas that are holding us back were planted there at a young age, either from our parents or guardians or mentors, teachers, because they were just projecting their own lack or their own scarcity into our own lives. And we don't need to carry that anymore. That's no longer ours to carry. And so the fact that you're able to go through that and release all that, of course, incorporating fire energy with this being a full moon in Aries, you're able to purge and release all of that. And I'll put through some follow-up questions to help review that meditation, but really notice if there was one specific part of your body that felt heavier during that initial body scan with the selenite wand, what the message was that you received from the urn, and then what affirmation did you write down, as that's clearly something that is resonating you with right now, whether that was in the area of love, money, success, or just overall happiness. And you can carry that affirmation forward whenever you have those days or you're irritated or frustrated, that you can always just go back to that affirmation or this meditation in general to help ground you and to know the commitment that you made to yourself and the work that you just did so that you can honor it. I want to thank you again very much for investing, taking the time to do the work right now, and just for following and supporting Stillwater Alchemy. I'm so appreciative. And if you have any questions, please be sure to write them in the comments below, and I will talk to you all soon.